This video is produced by the Expanding Social Protection Program of the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development.
The mandate of Gender, Labour and Social Development is really to mobilize people, to mobilize them to utilize their potential for economic development. And this is done through community empowerment. It is done through gender and community empowerment. It is done through social development, social protection. It's done through labor employment and employment opportunities. So ours is really to create a condition, a conducive condition for socio-economic development and also bring cohesion, social cohesion.
Addressing disability in old age for better social protection outcomes in Uganda. Globally, the World Health Organization estimates that about 1 billion of the world's 7 billion people have one or other form of disability. Of these, 2 to 4% have a disability that renders them non-functional. In Uganda, surveys show that prevalence of disability in the population is relatively high. The 2014 Uganda Population and Housing Census showed that disability was more prevalent amongst women at 15% than men at 10%. Like elsewhere in the world, disability in Uganda is proportionally more prevalent in older populations. This points to the challenge that persons with disability in Uganda have fewer economic opportunities, are more likely to be in poorer health, lower educational achievements, and witness higher and deeper levels of poverty than people without a disability.
So you'll find now that these people, because they don't have an economic source of income, it means their livelihood is threatened. They are the ones who are living under difficult conditions of housing. They are the ones who have issues of water, safe water, which is not there. They are the ones who are having issues of diseases, because as you grow older, there are certain diseases which are common among older persons. So definitely the government to target them to see how can they support them with a regular income to go and address their needs.
Old age is often linked to physical weakness, which is associated with increasing risks of ill health and disability. Yet, the aspirations of most Ugandans is to maintain good health as they grow older. But for many senior citizens, growing old with good vision is a distant reality. For example, a disability assessment survey commissioned by the Expanding Social Protection Program of the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development found that up to 84% of beneficiaries of the Senior Citizens Grant, a social grant given to older persons above 60 years, survived with a visual impairment.
These people can't see, they are blind. And even if government gave them this monthly stipend, they can't make use of it. When you give them this 25,000 shillings per month, if this person was normal sighted, he or she is able to utilize this money and do some smaller investments like chicken rearing, vegetable growing and so on. And over time they can come out of poverty. But because they are perpetually blind, then they can't help themselves adequately with even what government is providing them with.
For this very reason, the Expanding Social Protection Program is designing initiatives to integrate disability to better its programmatic outcomes. These include scoping support services for disability in districts where the program works and a referral service where beneficiaries who need one or other form of disability service are referred and connected to service providers who provide such a service.
What we have noticed that vulnerability has different dimensions, and disability seems to be one of the key aspects of vulnerability, causing vulnerability. So when we looked at our older persons, we found that many of these older persons also experience some form of disability. So we commissioned a survey of the beneficiaries of SAGE to see how disability affected these people. And our findings show that 84% of our older senior citizens who benefit from the SAGE program were experiencing some challenges, difficulties in seeing. We also found that some of them also having challenges with the mobility, being able to move. Some have speech problems, hearing problems, but we saw sight was one of the major challenges given. Since the percentage was high, 84%, we decided to engage with Sight Savers, an organization which deals with promoting, enhancing people's sight. And I think we have had several experiences now with them, participating in our pay centers where beneficiaries are receiving their money and also alongside receiving some medical attention and related to their sight.
We have a program that we have been implementing in the regions of Karamoja and Busoga for now about 3 years. And mobilization, accessing the elderly is one of the key challenges that we have been having. So when we had an opportunity that SAGE is mobilizing the elderly to come and receive money as part of the social protection scheme, we thought that would be a very good opportunity for us to target them at that pay point. So that's how the partnership came into being.
The partnership started in the Karamoja region in eastern Uganda.
The partnership came about because we really saw a challenge, but also Sight Savers were on the ground in the Karamoja region. So we felt that if we were to test and try to address what we had observed in our survey, that sight was a problem for many of our beneficiaries, and yet Sight Savers were already operating in Karamoja, we found that it was easier for us to start there and test out things and see how they run. So that explained why we started there, but Karamoja is one of the most vulnerable regions where we have been operating, and as we talk, all the districts of Karamoja are already brought on board on the program.
The Karamoja region is a predominantly cattle-keeping area, which in the past was affected by inter- and intra-clan conflicts over cattle and access to pasture.
Most of these eye problems are connected to people who are pastoralists. And you realize outside there, most of our people are pastoralists. And because of the flies, flies move with the cows, flies come from cows to human eyes. Some of our people go to the bush looking for cows, and they are liable to get traumatic cataracts. And with that, you realize that the magnitude of eye problems in Nakapripiriti in particular is quite high. We have so many people with high blinding conditions.
The expanding social protection program and Sight Savers are working together to offer eye care services to SAGE beneficiaries using the pay point. Under this partnership, when beneficiaries come to the pay point, they are paid their grants, but those with eye problems take advantage to benefit from eye care services.
As you saw during the screening exercise, many people came, being held, being led, being wheeled on wheelchairs, blind, but they had come for your services. And as eye care workers, my wish was that I wish we had started riding over this SAGE program many years earlier. It would have made our work very, very much easier, because essentially this program is bringing out every elderly person.
Because they are not people that you will find moving around in the streets. But this one-time activity will get everyone out of their manyata, especially for the Karamoja regions, just to benefit from the resources that they get once every 2 months. So I think the partnership is a worthwhile partnership, and it is one that should go on and on and on.
Meet 80-year-old Moru Nalita Rose. She lives in Nabilatuk sub-county, Muruangibun village in Nakapiripit district, eastern Uganda. For the last 2 years, she helplessly watched her vision disappear with no help in sight.
Itiar bakalo ayo ko jako na lo dilo chore da iriedang angkan ringa mang bering ini no rie jango ni pedang an boto kona harur ba do je ngun rubo na ba ni nyuni yo kana tirtirokin ani ba to lo tai tirtirokin arata raino kala buinga kinga da lo jero nindang ajo ger bo jani gilgori te lu lo jero ni lo pe aja yo aka lo to gini ngana robo iku kinai lo iti ya kire ka tare na ke chapa ai bala muni ako ngola nyari mu.
Usually on a payday, Nalita has to be led to a pay point by her grandson. This means the 10-year-old boy has to skip school in order to help his grandmother. But on this day, Nalita can consider herself lucky in the sense that the eye care services that she long sought for have been brought right to her doorstep at Nabilatuk Health Center 4. Like the others, Nalita has been counseled and prepped for surgery.
Here we have Moru Nalita Rose, an 8-year-old female from Nabilatuk sub-county who has been blind for the last 2 years, and we identified her during the ongoing screening exercise which is being done in conjunction with the SAGE program of Nakapiripiriti district. The cause of blindness was due to cataracts in both eyes, for which she has had loss of vision for the last 2 years. So she's here in theater. She has been prepared to undergo cataract surgery in the right eye. We are going to begin with the right eye because it is the one which had the least vision. And then tomorrow we shall operate on the left eye. Here the outcome is likely to be very good because the operation has been very successful, no complications.
The next day, the health center compound is littered with patients who went through Dr. Mayeku's safe hands. He is at it again, this time trying to measure the visual acuity of his patients after surgery.
Tell her to look there in the east.
She has finished the whole of it. That was the first eye.
It is Nalita's turn.
I'm going to talk to you. I share me. I know what I know. Only I will have only I never only I want to tell you Kotaya. I want to talk to you. I know Kotayaga. I wrote it. I never want to do it now. Pocket. Not doing it morning. I never want to bring it. I remove it. I never want to bring it. I am a buy. Not I. Well, I don't buy that quinte. I don't have anything in the gym.
She performs well and above average. Her surgery was a success with her sight restored. The smile on her face can tell it all.
Ala karanga tamari ga joko chola ku tama pu kan tanang tunga Tana ke makada mambure taite dang. Boye teja. La kara no oyi. Kiyama yin.
We are grateful to Sight Savers International that have come in handy to do corrective surgeries on these elderly people who have poor eyesight, and they have done a commendable job. And now we have a number of these elderly people who were previously blind, could not see, were normally led to the payment centers, but now they can walk on their own, they can count their money and see face to face with who is paying them without any deceit, without any interruption.
Over the years, studies conducted by the ESP program have shown that such beneficiaries spend their grants on accessing services and interventions such as education, health, and investing in income-generating activities. Continuity of this initiative and rolling out the partnership services to all SAGE program beneficiaries who need this service will multiply the benefits along with its potential for greater social and economic impacts.
The Uganda government is very much happy to be part and parcel of this summit, because this summit is going to enable government of Uganda to share experiences and practices that have been practiced in this country. But also we'll be able to learn from others, to know, to understand what they have done. So we shall borrow a leaf from those, but we shall also give them, because we also have got our own success stories.